Timetable.
At Irish Life Health, we do health insurance, but not as you know it. Like our benefit plan, which gives you up to €250 back on a mix of benefits, like sports clubs, such as your local GAA club, dietitians, and fitness wearables. Helping you embrace a healthier lifestyle. Search Irish Life Health.
And welcome back to the Athletics Ireland Elite Micromeet, sponsored here by Irish Life Health. First up, we're going to have the women's 400 metres, then followed by the men's 400 metres, and we'll also have a long jump competition then happening just after that. That women's 400 is going to be a cracking competition. We've got Phil Healy, we've got Sophie Becker, we've got Charlene Maudsley, Catherine McManus, and Grania Moynihan. So 2 laps of the track, starting in under 2 minutes. The athletes are starting to get into their blocks and getting settled. Phil Healy in the outside lane has won 12 national titles. She's the Irish record holder for 100 and 200. Indoors, she's competed in the European indoors over 60 and 400 metres in the last couple of years. 7:31 for 60 metres, so she's going to be able to get out the fastest. 11:28 for 100. 22:99 for 200, and her indoor national record of 23:10 will surely get her to the break before anyone else. She also ran 52:65 last year to get the European qualifying standard, which is 53:60, and a lot of these girls will be chasing this time. She ran 52:19 last year and 52:08 faster indoors than outdoors last year. Chasing her then will be Sophie Becker, who won the indoor national title here last year and followed up with an outdoor national title as well. At her best, she has ran 53:67 outdoors and 53:66 indoors. So she is well suited to the indoor distance and will try and chase that time of 53:60. Sharni Maudsley's in this one as well. In 2020, she ran 54.10 indoor. She is a quick athlete over 200 meters as well, very good as a junior. She's there in the colours of UL at the centre of your shot. Phil Healy, of course, in the yellow of Bandon on the outside, and Sophie Becker of Raheny there in lane 5. Inside those two athletes then will be no one in this case, as Gráinne Moynihan and Catherine McManus are not present. So it is most likely going to be Phil Healy trying to get to the break before anyone else, but Becker and Maudsley, the young guns coming up behind her, will be chasing her down over this first lap. Into the blocks now. Remember, 53.60 is the European indoor standard. Only Phil Healy has it so far. Out very strongly there is Healy. The quick 60-metre sprinter is out and fast before anyone else. And Becker and Maudsley are going to try and chase down the long-striding Maudsley there in the maroon and white and blue of UL is chasing down Becker. And Maudsley has got out very, very strongly here. And Healy might want to take closer order as they come around here off the bend. Will she get to the break first? You would expect her to turn on the jets now as she gets around those tennis balls. And Becker is holding off Maudsley. And it's a bit of a destruction derby back there. Maudsley is trying to push through on Becker on those inside lanes, but it is Healy, the class of the field, getting to the front and striding away from Becker and really showing her class here as she opens up to 3 metre distance on Becker and Maudsley, who are going to duke it out for that second place. But it is Healy striding away here. The national record holder over 100 and 200 enters into the home straight. She's got 50 metres left to run. She is the class of the field and she's striding away from the rest of the field, and she's going to win in a time of 52 low, I would suspect. And Becker and Maudsley, did they get under that time of 53.60? We'll have to wait to find out, but what a cracking run from Healy, and an intriguing race behind between the evenly matched Becker and Maudsley. Cracking race to start off with. Some micro meet, but the performances are pretty big. Yes, I wrote that down last night. I lead a sad life. But Healy with the win there. We'll find out the time on that one. The clock didn't stop for us there. But the athletes from Bandon training down in Waterford a lot these days under the tutelage of Shane McCormick. We'll see a quick replay of that. You can see here Healy getting it really strongly, and Maudsley there tearing up on that inside lane, the former junior sprinter. I think, judging by that clap, that we've had a fairly successful run here from Healy. But as you see, coming into the home, into the straight for the first time, Healy is turning on those afterburners there, and Maudsley and Becker duking out Becker, the indoor national champion, showing that those smarts and holding her off. But I think we've got something pretty special happening here. You can see Healy tearing away. She really turned on the afterburners there when she went into the back straight for the penultimate, or for the second time, and Becker and Maudsley then duking it out. But Healy really showing that class, entering the home straight and striding away. She's full of running here. Never looked like she was in any bother. Obviously the winter training down under the tutelage of Shane McCormick is paying dividends. Yet to see a time on that one. As I said, the clock didn't stop, but I will go to my technical guru, who is in fact still me, as it is a one-man show here, and we'll check on the laptop and see if the results have come up yet. In the meantime, just entertain yourselves. No, I'm just kidding. Healy, what a cracking run. You could see there just really storming away from that field on the back straight. But Becker and Maudsley going well there, and you'd be thinking that might form a pretty strong 4x4 over the next couple of years, with Healy and Maudsley and Becker all on the way through there. And the results are up 51.99 from Healy, which is, of course, a personal best for the athlete. She's ran 52.09 indoors before. And we'll just check the record status of that. And not only that, but both Becker and Maudsley under that European indoor standard of 53.60. So what a cracking race. High on quality there, those three athletes. All three now qualified for the European indoors. 51.99 from Healy, 53.20 from Becker. And of course, Maudsley then with 53.56, just getting in by the skin of her teeth there on that one. And, of course, the national record, by the way, 51.58 from Karen Jenkins back in 2002. So she will have been close enough to that one, 51.99. So she's knocking on the door of Karen Jenkins' record there. And in this next heat now, we're going to have Nicole Walsh, Catherine McManus, and Gráinne Moynihan. So Nicole Walsh, the quickest there with 55.21. McManus and Moynihan 53.81 from McManus. Apologies, McManus being the quickest there, 53.81, and Grania Moynihan 56.51. But of course, has ran 54.09. The 26-year-old from West Muskerry has ran close to 54 seconds outdoors. Tall athlete in lane 6. But Nicole Walsh there, the young athlete from Galway City Harriers, in lane 4. So can these athletes, can anyone else, can they put a cat amongst the pigeons and run under that standard as well? They'll be hard pressed to catch McManus, obviously with the closest in terms of personal bests, and obviously ran here yesterday over 200 metres as well. She has ran 54.36 as well outdoors, so she's well capable of getting close to that time of 53.60. And of course, after this, we'll have the men's 4x4 and the long jump, the mixed long jump, featuring Shane Howard, Sarah Buggy, Sarah McCarthy, and look at my notes. And of course, Kate O'Connor, who I think has probably stayed here overnight because she was in so many events yesterday. She's really getting her money's worth for making the effort to come down from Dundalk. So she is in this one as well, was in the shot put, and the 200 yesterday. So cracking race there from Phil Healy, 51.99, dipping under that 52-second barrier for the first time. She made a European semi-final, I think in 2017 off the top of my head. So she should be, that's the best shape she's been in, and over 400 metres indoors, and we'll be hoping to go one better and make that European indoor final over the next couple of weeks in 2 run. And Maudsley and Becker going to get great experience and get stuck in. Those are pretty fast times. They'll be hoping to make some semi-finals and maybe in a final themselves. We're hoping to get on the plane, or at least put a bit of pressure on, and maybe we could start looking at a 4x4 perhaps as well. Maybe not for the European indoors, but in the summer, these athletes, Gráinne Moynihan, Catherine McManus, and Nicole Walsh from the inside, Walsh, then McManus, then Moynihan out in lane 6. So settling into their blocks, McManus with the best indoor personal best. McManus out strongly there, but Moynihan going really strongly on the outside. He's trying to use that stagger and trying to get away from the normally quicker starting Catch McManus, and Walsh then from Galway City Harriers trying to get around that staggered bend as best she can and stay in touch with these athletes as she comes off the bend. But it looks to be McManus and Moynihan duking out here. But McManus has got to the bend first, got to the break-in first, and McManus is striding away from Moynihan here. She ran 200 metres here yesterday, so she's got a little bit of tiredness in the legs, and Moynihan is going to try and pounce on that now and go up on the back straight and try and get onto her shoulder. But McManus is running strongly here and really holding her off, and the long striding Moynihan is trying to close on her as we come around the bend. It's going to be a cracking finish here if Moynihan can get onto her shoulder, but McManus, the strong athlete here in lane 1, trying to hold off, and she's trying to go to lane 2, but it's going to be a cracking finish here. McManus trying to hold off Moynihan, but Moynihan, the athlete from West Muskerry, gets it, and it looks to be in around 54 seconds, which would be a good run from those athletes. And Walsh then coming up to the 3rd place in that second heat, so a good run from Walsh there as well. But McManus just couldn't hold off the long striding athlete from West Muskerry. We should probably quickly see a replay of this one, and there you can see McManus, even though she didn't get out too quickly at the start, on the back straight then tearing after Moynihan and getting to the break first, which is difficult to do from that slightly inside lane in lane 5. The long striding tall athlete from West Muskerry struggling with the bend there somewhat, and allowing McManus to take the inside track and get ahead of her. She's about a metre ahead of Moynihan as we come in then to the back straight. We'll top that up for you there now in a second. We'll see into the back straight. You can see Moynihan trying gamely to hang on to McManus here and trying to get onto her shoulder, but just couldn't do it. It looked like McManus was going to run away with this one, but remember, she has ran a 200 metres here yesterday, and the tiredness was probably in her legs as she entered into the home straight. Moynihan, long striding athlete here, getting up onto the outside and just over those final few yards getting in front of McManus. And we'll get a quick time on that for you. as quick as we can. As you said, Phil Healy, by the way, personal best and of season leader, Irish season leader here, going ahead of Davisha Patterson, who ran 54.18. All these athletes ran quicker than that. Phil Healy 51.99, Sophie Becker 53.20, and Charlene Mosley 53.56. And of course, in this next race, men's 400 meters, as I said, I'll try and get back to that result for you there for all the Walsh, McManus and Moynihan fans. But this men's 400 metres, just the one heat. Killian Green, Kyle Crosby, Andrew Mellon and Christopher O'Donnell. Crosby, of course, the national indoor champion here last year, pre-pandemic, I suppose, here in 2020. 47.41 outdoors and 47.93 indoors. He is last year's champ. Obviously, this isn't the national championships, but it is the only meet that will take place or has taken place so far this year. So these athletes will be treating this with the respect it deserves and taking each other on. 47.93 is his best indoors. 47.41 outdoors. Christopher O'Donnell then, he's the 2020 outdoor champion. He's around 46.16 outdoors and 47.39 already this season in France. So he is the man in form. The other athletes have not ran so far this year. Killian Green, 47.19 indoors. He's ran 21.47 indoors as well. So he will be trying to get to that break as fast as he can in front of everyone else. Andrew Mellon, 47.32 indoors back in 2018 and a 46.80 in outdoors in 2016. So he is one of the quickest. He's the second quickest in the field outdoors, and he's in the white and red of Crusaders. So he will be fighting to get to that break as well. So it's going to be a cracking race. All four of these athletes are actually fairly well matched, and I think there's going to be a serious battle to get to that 200 meter split first. So an excellent start, obviously, for the day with that personal best from Phil Healy. That actually puts her 6th in Europe this season and 13th in the world this year. And she goes to 2nd on the all-time list. So she's really racking up those records, 1, 2, 200 metres indoors. And, of course, getting very close to that 400 metre indoor best of Karen Shinkin's 51.58. So 2nd all-time on that list. And, more importantly, 6th in Europe this year. And that is... that will put her in the mix for that European indoor final. And only 13th in the world. So... she's really turning into and developing into an elite level athlete, a world class athlete over the last couple of years. So a cracking start to the day. Just in terms of the 4x4 update, we reckon there's one spot left, and it's been picked off the best four average times in the country. So 53.1 average would get it. So that would put us outside. Well, possibly. I'm not very good at maths, so we'd want to have a quick look at that. I don't think we'd be close enough to it, unfortunately. But my gurus at home may figure that one out. So if someone has an abacus, perhaps, they may be able to figure it out. David Shea giggled there on our camera crew, because he actually does have an abacus and he doesn't believe in calculators. Thinks it's too modern. He also has a record player and doesn't have a CD player or MP3s or any of that kind of stuff. So we'll get that women's 400 metre result for you from the second heat. In fact, we will, 55.2 for Nicole Walsh and 55.2 for Catherine McManus. 58.33 for the winner, Grania Moynihan. That doesn't make any sense, so I'm going to wait for that to update. Yeah, I'm sure that'll update. That may have been 55.2 for Grania and Catherine, and then 58.33 for Nicole Walsh in the end in that one. So those athletes running 55 seconds at the front of that field, won by Grania Moynihan, just in front of Catch McManus. But the attention now turns to the men's 4x4. The guys are just getting themselves ready, and this is due to kick off momentarily. And of course then we have the men's and women's long jump. So from the inside,
at Irish Life Health, we do health insurance, but not as you know it. Like our benefit plan, which gives you up to €250 back on a mix of benefits, like sports clubs, such as your local GAA club, dietitians, and fitness wearables. Helping you embrace a healthier lifestyle. Search Irish Life Health.
And we're back here. We're just waiting on the start of this men's 400 meters. From the inside, you can see there in the grey top, it is Killian Green of Galway City Harriers. And we have Cathal Crosby then in the red of Ennis Track. Andrew Mellon in the white and red of Crusaders there, the 101. And just on the outside, the favourite for this, Christopher O'Donnell from North Sligo AC. He's ran the fastest and the only time this year of 47.39, which is an indoor personal best for him. 46.16 outdoors, the Galway City Harriers man, last year's outdoor champion. And Cathal Crosby, though, we'll be hoping that his indoor streak continues there. He's in the red centre of your shot, full red kit or full red singlet. He has ran 47.41 outdoors and 47.93 indoors, the Clare man. And then Killian Green, as I said, kind of disadvantages there on that inside lane, the Galway City Harrier, but he's ran 21.47, so he will be quick to that first breakdown, to the first break. And then Andrew Mellon, then just there in lane 5, just leaning against the fence there, taking a little time off. He's ran 47.32 indoors and 46.80 outdoors, so he will be in the mix in this one in lane 5. Christopher O'Donnell, though, by far the favourite here, the Galway City, the North Sligo man in the outside lane there. You can see him just there, centre of your shot, leaning against the fence as well on the outside, showing that Irish Life Health banner off. And we're just waiting here, hopefully getting into our blocks, and we are going to get into our blocks. So from the inside, Green, Crosby, Mellon and O'Donnell. O'Donnell would have watched his fellow Connacht man, Gerard O'Donnell, get that win over Matthew Bean in the second 60-metre race yesterday. He'll be hoping to keep the O'Donnells on top. So Green, Crosby, Mellon and O'Donnell. O'Donnell favourite out in lane 6. Mellon and then Crosby and Green. So out very strongly is O'Donnell, and Green on the inside is going to try and tear up on the inside of Crosby, who will try and hold him off, but Green is going really well. He's absolutely flying it here, trying to get up to the curve, and he is in the lead for sure at this point, the 21.47 athlete over 200 metres, and he's coming into the home straight for the first time, and it's going to be an absolute carnage here, but it is Green who gets to the break first, as he had to from that inside lane, and O'Donnell is struggling to get around Mellon on the inside there, but it is Green at the front, but he will pay for that early exertion, and O'Donnell is tearing up around the outside, and O'Donnell now on the shoulder of Green, who looks like he's starting to struggle a little bit as he comes into the home straight. He is struggling, and O'Donnell is going to blow by him here. Will Mellon goes out into lane 2 as well, and it is O'Donnell leading up the home straight. O'Donnell tearing away from the rest of the field. Mellon in second, and Crosby has got third, and Green, who stormed to the lead early doors from that inside lane, just missing out there on the top 3, but a cracking effort from him from that inside lane and really made the race. O'Donnell with the win in the end, as expected. He has ran 47.39 this year. We don't have a clock on him yet, but a cracking performance and a great race, as I said, between 4 evenly matched athletes. Cathal Crosby, last year's indoor national champion, getting up for third there in the end, just in front of Green. So you can see here from the start, look at Green there in the grey of Galway City Harriers there. He's absolutely tearing up on the rest of the stagger, as he had to from that inside lane. It was the only chance he had, was to try and get to the front and try and hold on. And get to the front he does. He flew around that corner there, and you can see there was going to be a little bit of pushing and shoving here as he came in, and Mellon just tried to hold off O'Donnell and does so. And O'Donnell just on the outside there, having to run an awful lot in the outer lanes. So you can see O'Donnell here pretty much running in lane 2 for most of for about 50, 60, 70 metres of the race, and Green just holding on there at the front, but O'Donnell having to do an awful lot of work, and would have made life a lot easier for himself if he got to the breakdown first. And you can see Green there struggling up that home straight, but really made the race. Crosby coming from nowhere there to get third in the end, but what a cracking effort from both Green and O'Donnell there. We'll find out exactly what the time was on that very shortly. And of course, now we'll be moving into the long jump very shortly.
At Irish Life Health, our benefit plan gives you up to €250 back on a mix of benefits like sports club membership and fitness wearables. Search Irish Life Health.
So the long jump is due to start at 12:15. So we'll get they're just warming up currently. I'll try and get you a quick result on that men's 400 meters, and then we will let you go make a cup of tea or whatever your beverage of choice is, and then join us back here at about 12:10 for our preview of the long jump. We're actually going to stay and we're going to have a quick set of interviews here with, hopefully with Phil Healy and Christopher O'Donnell. So we are back here for the men and women's long jump. And we've got 4 competitors in this: Shane Howard, Sarah Buggy, Sarah McCarthy, and Kate O'Connor. And we'll also be bringing you interviews with Christopher O'Donnell, Charlene Maudsley, and Zoe Becker. We were going to get one with Phil Healy, but she had left the building with speed. She's pretty quick, you know. She's out the door straight away. Didn't want to talk to her fellow Bandonian. Well, what can you do? That's what we're called. Well, she's from Ballineen, but look, you know. But we do have many more athletes here. Shane Howard and Sarah Buggy, Sarah McCarthy, and Kate O'Connor all going in this long jump. We're just doing the final preparations for that long jump, so we may show you a interview before we get to that. So Chris, a win today and a good performance to boot. How did you feel about today's performance?
It was an interesting race. 400 metres indoors is always a bit argy-bargy, but it was to be expected. And I went out with a plan, and I knew I was going to finish strong in the second lap. So I mightn't have been in the greatest position at 200, but I was still happy and I was confident that I could finish strong. Not quite as fast as I'd liked. My record indoors isn't brilliant, but what it does suggest is my differential indoor to outdoor is always massive. So to run a 47 3 times indoors should set me up really well for the summer now.
Yeah, you've been running well indoors so far this season, and getting used to races like this. I suppose when Killian Green goes out so fast, you're having to do a lot of work running in kind of lane 2. When you see back the video, you'll see that.
A bit of I don't think it made too much difference, but I know I'm really happy with how I've ran indoors, because it's almost like an away fixture for me indoors. It's my first time running 400s indoors for probably 4 years, so I'm getting used to it because it's important now to run indoors with the new point system. So I'm trying to start running indoors again, but as I said, I should be able to take a couple of seconds off that time come the summer.
And plans for the outdoor season? Are you going to go back into training now, or is it a case of transitioning to track fairly quickly?
We'll have to wait and see for European indoors, but the main goal is always to run fast in the summer, and I'll put in 2 or 3 really good training in and be ready for that.
Perfect. And in terms of restrictions wise, has it been difficult for you to get the training in over the last couple of months, or have you been living at the track?
No, we're living at the track. I think with the pubs closed and everything, you've seen some athletes running pretty well this year, so we've got nothing else to do but train. So I think that's why we've got a good team going next week.
Brilliant, fantastic, and well done today.
Thank you very much.
Cheers. So well done today, Sophie. European qualifying standard. You must be delighted.
Oh, I'm absolutely thrilled. Just to be able to get to race is unbelievable, and then to get the standard, all 3 of us to get the standard, is just so exciting. I had a hard winter's training, so I know I was in good shape. It was just great to come out with a PB and a qualifying standard. So I'm absolutely delighted.
Fantastic. And I suppose in terms of your indoor national title last year, outdoor national title, and now a European qualifying standard, what are your thoughts now going towards obviously next week and then the summer?
Well, next week it'll be back to training, and then just try to stay in peak for this and everything. I was at Europeans 2 years ago. How old was I? 21, 22. So I've definitely learned a lot from that, and I'm hoping for a better result than that. I suppose I was so young and naive going into that, so now I have a lot more experience, so hopefully that will do me good. And then going into the summer, obviously hope to run a bit faster, hopefully a 52, and then we're tracking to qualify for the Olympics for the relay team. So myself, Phil, Charlene over there, we'd all be hoping to get either on the women's relay or the mixed one. So that's kind of the plan coming into the next few months.
Fantastic. And I suppose over the last couple of months, in terms of restrictions for training, have you found it difficult to get the training in, or it's just been a case of getting on with it?
So I've actually been so lucky. I've had access to the track and the gym and everything, because I am a carded athlete, so I'm so thankful for that. But even still, it's been hard because I love my training group, and we have so much fun and everything, and most of them haven't been able to train with me, so that's been a bit of a struggle, just not having the crack as much as we usually would in training. But no, I have been lucky that I've been able to keep my fitness, keep my speed and everything, because I've had the track and the gym and everything. So yeah.
Brilliant. Thanks very much. Great performance today.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Thank you.
So Charlene, a European qualifier. So So we're back here. We've had one jump from Sarah McCarthy just there. A 5.83 jump from her. So she is a 6.33 outdoor best performer and a 6.12 indoors from Sarah McCarthy there in the white and navy of Mid Sutton AC. So 5.83, a good opening round jump from her. She is up against Sarah Buggy, who's jumped 6.05 indoors, 6.10 outdoors. Dabbles in probably better known as a triple jumper. Back and forth between triple, has 13 national titles and an outdoor personal best of 13.29 the triple. So well used to the sand here. Kate O'Connor though, the 8th place in the Commonwealth Games, and I would say European silver as well, and as a junior. And she's here, and she's jumped 6.10 outdoors in 2017, 5.98 in 2019 indoors. She did a shot put yesterday, and a good opening round jump. I don't think that's as far as Sarah McCarthy, but it is a decent opening round effort from the heptathlete from Dundalk, Kate O'Connor. She was in the 200 meters here yesterday as well. Well, my apologies, sorry, the 60 meter hurdles against Sarah Levin. Set 2 personal bests yesterday in the 60 meter hurdles in race 1 and race 2. So good day for her yesterday, good weekend so far for the Dundalk athlete. And that was a 5.46 opening jump, so not near her best, but a good opening round effort from Kate O'Connor. And we have Sarah Buggy up next. As I said, 13 national titles. 6.05 indoors is her best, 6.10 outdoors. And she'll be hoping to get a win here today up against Sarah McCarthy and Kate O'Connor. And of course, the solo male athlete is Shane Howard there. He's jumped 7.61 outdoors and 7.53 indoors back in 2017. Remember the qualifying standards, of course, 6.80 and 8.05 for women and men respectively. Probably a little bit out of reach for these athletes, but in the long jump, you never know. You just need one good jump, and that'll make history, like Sebastian Bayer in the European indoors many moons ago. That huge 8.65 jump, I'm going to say, or 8.75. 8.70. Sarah Buggy tearing down the runway here now, the St. Albans AC athlete, and that is a break from her, but it was an impressive jump. Impressive leap from the St. Albans athlete. So she'll be working on her mark there now and just ensuring that she can get a set of clean jumps. Shane Howard up next. So Sarah Buggy would just been a little bit concerned with her penultimate step there before the takeoff. That is really where you end up seeing those brake issues. Here comes Shane Howard now, getting ready. He has, of course, jumped to 7.61 and 7.53 outdoors. He's going to tear down this runway now at optimum speed. So you don't want to go overly fast. You don't want to go to your top speed, just your optimum speed for jumping. That penultimate step you can see there, and a huge hang time there for the Bandon athlete, and a clean jump. But I would suspect he won't be entirely happy with that jump. That guy is just playing kind of kaleidoscope type games there. Don't even think he's got anything to do with the long jump. It's a viewing tower. 6.78. Sorry, apologies. He's actually meant to be here. 6.78. So not a great opening round jump there for Shane Howard, who is of course 7.61 at his best. But a good opening round. He's ahead of the ladies, you know. And that should be his first issue there. Just get longer than the ladies, and then I can look at jumping into the mid 7 meters. So mission accomplished for Shane this morning so far, or this afternoon. So first round jumps all completed. We have Sarah McCarthy in the lead in the women's, followed by Kate O'Connor, and then followed by Sarah Buggy. So plenty of more action to come. This is 6 jumps in total. Said poor opening round jump for Shane Howard by his standards, 6.78. And we also will have an interview with Charlene Maudsley as well to come 3 athletes qualifying for the European Indoors this morning. Phil Healy, who already had the qualifying standard, Charlene Maudsley and Sophie Becker as well. So up next is going to be Sarah McCarthy. She is in the lead in this women's competition. So she's going to be tearing down this runway very shortly. Good opening round effort from her, getting one on the board, but she'll be hoping to go over that 6 meter barrier. So the Mid-Sutton AC athlete was here in the 200 meters as well yesterday. Won that 200 meter race against Catherine McManus. She's also a heptathlete, an indoor pentathlete as well, alongside Kate O'Connor. So McCarthy striding down the runway, a very tall athlete. Good exit angle there from the board. Good effort from her, clean jump. She tends to be a very, to get a lot of jumps in. Sarah McCarthy wouldn't see too many breaks, very technically proficient. So a good effort for her, 5.94. That is an improvement on her previous round and getting up towards her indoor personal best of 6.12. So she's not too far off that there. She should be quite pleased with that second round effort. Up next, it will be Kate O'Connor, the heptathlete from Dundalk. 6:10 our outdoor personal best at 5.98. Then her indoor best. Said performing well, going well over 60 meter hurdles yesterday. And pretty unique pair of spikes there from afar. It looked like she was wearing some sort of Crocs, but they are just long jump spikes. Other Croc-like shoes are available. Kate O'Connor now leaning back, just steadying herself, striding purposely down the runway. Excellent technique from her, hanging in the air there well. Tucking those legs in just before the landing. I don't think it's going to be much of an improvement for Kate O'Connor. Let's get the results up. 5.76. In fact, I lie. It is a massive, huge improvement for Kate O'Connor from that first round. But she's still well off her best. 5.98 indoors and 6.10 outdoors. But a good second round performance from her. An improvement on that 5.46 from the first round. So currently in the lead, Sarah McCarthy with that 5.94. An improvement on the 5.83 from round one. Kate O'Connor also with an improvement from 5.46 to 5.76. Sarah Buggy, once she makes the pit here, will be an improvement on her first round jump, which was a break. A fault. So Buggy, the multi-disciplined star here in the jumps, the horizontal jumps. 13 national titles over long and triple. Second best PB in the field, Sarah McCarthy, of course, with that massive 6.33 and 6.12 indoors, and Buggy with a 6.05 indoors and 6.10 outdoors. But better known, I suppose, as a triple jumper in this country. Steadying herself, striding in with impressive speed down the runway here. And it's another break from Buggy, so she'll know that she'll have to make some serious changes. That penultimate step before that jump is probably causing a little bit of havoc there, but she is quite close to it. But we'll expect to see a big jump when we do get it. She is jumping well and getting well down that pit, but just missing out at the very, very start there with that fault. And here we have Shane Howard training on bales during lockdown 1 last year, jumping from bales and using farm equipment and farm machinery to lift weights and rustic stuff up there in Rathcormac in North Cork, but represents Bandon AC. alongside his sister Roisin Howard, who's won many national title as well, national medals in the heptathlon and shot put. And Shane Howard here, 6:78 in that first round. Of course, national record 8 meters from Kieran McDonough, the great Kieran McDonough, and 7:03 is the current lead. That was Sam Healy, the Leeville man. He's jumped 7:03, but the standard, of course, 8:05. Here is Howard. A long way up the M8 and M7 this morning, no doubt. Let's get ready for this competition. Multi-talented star. He's got over the hurdles as well and the high jump. So steadying himself here now. Abandoned athlete. Last year's national champion. Remember, a personal best of 7:61 outdoors, 7:53 indoors, so I'll be hoping to get close to that today. Tearing down the runway with impressive speed here and perfect on the board. And that is a big jump. That is a big jump from Shane Howard there. Or at least it looked like a big jump. I'm not very good with distances. Will he improve on his 6:78 from round 1? 7:12, so it is a season lead for Shane Howard. He's gone ahead of that 7:03 of Shane Healy, and it's an improvement on his round 1 jump. And knowing Shane, he won't be happy with that just yet, but an improvement. You can see here, he really, with that exit from the board end, the takeoff angle is very impressive there. He's almost vertical, and then comes crashing down around 7:12. What a very, very powerful athlete is Shane Howard. Deceptively powerful considering his frame. So that is round 2 done and dusted. Up next we'll have Sarah McCarthy. And of course in the afternoon we have the long-awaited women's 800 metres followed by the men's 1500 metres, and then we have a series of 60-metre races. Athletes trying to chase qualifying standards. It's been exciting championships so far, with plenty of European indoor standards and just a few national records as well thrown in there. Such a great performance yesterday from Mark English and Keane McPhillips. That John Fitzsimons in 3rd place actually also got the European indoor standards and was almost forgotten about in the Ferrari. They ran a personal best as well, 1:47 mid. So fantastic performances yesterday all round. To get the exact time there on John Fitzsimons, giving his full dues. John Fitzsimons 1:47.80 for him, so an incredible performance, and 2 national records in front of him. Junior national record from Keane McPhillips 1:46.13, and a national record from Mark English 1:46.10. So it's been a long time since Mark English was in the trouble he was in with 80 metres to go, but what a competitor. Held off the young McPhillips all the way to the line. He admitted that he was a bit shocked to see him alongside him, but he'll know what's going on now. Long jump, back to the long jump here. This is Sarah McCarthy. She improved on her first round jump. She is striding down the runway, the mid-Sutton AC athlete. And I don't think that is going to be an improvement on her earlier jumps. See, she kind of caught the sand with her elbow there. 5:94 in the previous round. So I suspect not an improvement. But then again, regularly wrong here in the commentary box. It'll say 8, won't it? 5:83, so we'll say it. But that is the same as her first round jump. So 2 5:83s from Sarah McCarthy and a 5:94. So still in the lead in this women's long jump. And now will be followed by Kate O'Connor, 5:76 in that second round. And Sarah Buggy, with those 2 faults, will be hoping to get one on the board. So O'Connor from Dundalk, St. Gerard's. Busy day yesterday. 60-metre hurdles, 2 races and a shot put. So she's really getting the full quota in. Heptathlete. National record holder in the heptathlon. said that silver medal winning performance. She's on her own way. European Junior silver medalist in 2019. Won a national title she has. Multi-talented athlete across a range of different events. Of course, in the long jump, 598 and 610. Indoor and out. That looks to be just in around where Sarah McCarthy was there a moment ago. So I suspect a pretty solid jump from Kate O'Connor. 576, remember, in that last round. Sarah Buggy gets the tracksuit off and strolls down the runway there to get herself set. 572, so not an improvement for Kate O'Connor, but still another good jump. She's had a good series, 546, 576 and 572 for her. And of course Buggy with those two faults in rounds 1 and 2, hoping to get a clean record here for round 3. So Kate O'Connor, once again, that European silver at junior level and national record, holds all the age group national records and under 20, under 23, and the actual national record from that performance in Borås, Sweden. So an impressive performer. I said across a range of distances, 215, 800 meter best as well. Just throwing their 181 in the high jump. But we have Sarah Buggy here, 13 national titles over triple and long. 2 faults in that first and second round. Remember, personal best of 6:05 indoors. Can she get this one right? And it is no. She cannot get that one right. She's still pretty much the exact same distance off that board. You can tell there's a one big jump in her, and it could be a case of many faults and the one storming effort from Buggy here, but it's been pretty much exactly the same spot that she's been out by in every round so far, which is a serious pity. She's just looking at the board going, oh, so you have to jump behind the board. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes perfect sense. Fair enough. I'll do that the next time. And then there she goes. Off she goes. But we have Shane Howard up next. He's been behind the board. So Howard, very impressive performer. Last year's national champion. So you see some of the 800 meter girls warming up there. So Howard, quick athlete, 10:88 for 100 meters, 6:97 for 60. And of course that 190 high jump as well. So 340 pole vault. He's been, as I said, across a range of disciplines here. 1380 in the triple jump as well. So he is an impressive performer across many disciplines. But of course, he's most impressive at 761 outdoor performance and 753 indoor performance from Howard, the Rat Cormac man representing Bandon AC there, the yellow. Taking his time here. He's been improving throughout the rounds. .678 in that first round and 7:12 in the second round. So he'll be hoping to go even further here, to let fly on this runway here in Abbottstown. He's going to use mark right. Crouching down, getting that sprinter stance. He's going to tear down the runway here now with impressive 10:88 100 meter speed. And I commentator's curse that he'd been behind the mark, and he was in fact over the mark. But that looked like a massive jump there from Shane Howard. So he is close to something really, really good there now, really special. He was only just barely off on that board. So he's going on saying, blue is bad, don't kick the blue. The blue is plasticine. These long jumpers live a simple life. Run, see the blue thing, don't step in the blue thing. Jump into the sand. Simples. But obviously, I've tried the long jump, and It's disturbing how short you can jump when you're not any good at it. You're like, wow, 395. And then, some lad just comes down and jumps well below his personal best and jumps 712. Go into your living room there and just even measure out 712, which Shane Howard is not happy with as a performance today. And just measure 7 meters 12 in your living room, if you can even do that, or your hallway. It's pretty damn long. So try and jump that. Even in 2 jumps, try and jump 712, and I'd say you'd struggle. Except for Kieran McDonough, who's obviously watching this at home and is a 8-meter jumper and the former national record holder. And he's like, yeah, no, I can do that. No problem. So as I said, women's 800 metres, men's 1500 metres coming up in the kind of mid-afternoon. And then we're following that up then with a cracking set of 60 metres to round out the day. That women's 800 will have Jenna Brommel, Georgie Hardigan, Katie Kirk, Claire Mooney and Isolde O'Donnell, who has the European standard, and of course Louise Shannon, who has the European standard, and Sinead Denny is set to pace. And we'll also have Luke McCann in the 1500 metres alongside Johnny Wan and John Travers, who ran a European indoor standard yesterday and a personal best of 750 alongside Darren McElhenney. And then we'll have Kevin Woods down to pace. That one, he did a great job. He paced 1 national record today. Don't think he's going to pace a second, but you never know. And then we have the 60-metre women and 60-metre men. So we have Joan Healy, has the European indoor standard. Sarah Lavin, who ran yesterday in the hurdles and has the European standard. Kate Doherty and Lauren Roy, Molly Scott, Aoife Lynch and Niamh Whelan all in the mix there in that 60-metre race. And of course in the men's then we have Leon Reid, who ran so well here yesterday and ran a indoor personal best, or no, it wasn't, but it was the fastest time in many years for Leon Reid. Marcus Lawler and Mark Smith doubling up from that 60 metres as well, alongside Conor Morey, Joseph Ojawumi and Israel Olatunde as well. And Dean Adams is the final man in that field, the quick starting and Dean Adams, 2020 national indoor champion from Ballymena and Antrim. So plenty of action throughout the day. So a bit of a lull here in proceedings in the long jump. We won't try and tempt fate though by showing an interview in case we miss something. We've done that before. So we'll take a moment. We'll take some time out now before Sarah McCarthy gets herself ready. And we'll take a few minutes. So we're back here with Sarah Buggy. So athletes will be going in reverse now. Sarah Buggy with 3 faults in her first 3 jumps, so she is at the bottom of the field, and she will be starting first. And then we'll have Kate O'Connor, followed up by the leader, Sarah McCarthy. So Buggy here hoping to perform better. She has done in the first 3 rounds. So into that sprinter stance once again, tearing down the runway. And once again, it is a break from Sarah Buggy. But that one, in fairness, was a hell of a lot closer than the first 3 from Buggy. You can tell there is just one massive jump in there if she can just get it right. Next up will be Kate O'Connor. So Kate O'Connor, the multi-talented European Junior silver medalist from Borås in Sweden. 8th in the Commonwealth Games as well. 5:72.76, sorry, her best. That was the second round jump. So it has to get ahead of that 5:94, which would be close to her indoor personal best to get ahead of Sarah McCarthy, who of course won the 200 meters here yesterday. So O'Connor just getting yourselves set here on the runway. Dundalk St. Gerard's AC athlete in the red of that club. Got yourself settled here on the line. Did a hard day yesterday, 260 meter hurdles by 2, and then following that up with some shot put action in the late afternoon. But would be well used to that level of competition and continuous competition with her heptathlon background. National record holder, of course. Moved ahead of Mairead Murphy. Ferrybank AC. But here is O'Connor on the runway. 4th round jump. Just waiting on some plasticine related issues here. Sort of rolling type action going on the plasticine. Trying to remove some of the marks. And then we'll have O'Connor up directly after that. You can see the men's 1500 meters and the women's 800 meters as well warming up here in the background. It's going to be a cracking women's 800 later on. Kate O'Connor here on the line now. Ready to go. .576 her best so far. So storming down the runway is O'Connor, and clean jump from her. Doesn't look to be as long as her previous efforts, but a fine jump nonetheless. And a clean jump. So we'll find out very shortly, of course, after this. Sarah McCarthy, the current leader, with that 5:96 jump. So 5:73 from Kate O'Connor. So no improvement there, but another good jump. 5:76, 5:72, and 5:73. Her top 3 jumps. Of course, that 5:94, apologies, 5:94 of Sarah McCarthy, who's up next from round 2, is still in the lead. Buggy with 3 faults. Just trying to get that one big jump. All you need is one big jump in the long jump. So here is McCarthy, the Mid-Sutton AC athlete, down there on the peninsula, where Isolde O'Donnell is also from, and the Raheny athlete tears down this runway and into the pit, and there's a clean jump. Will probably be a little bit longer than her her third round jump, but unlikely to challenge that 5:94 that she jumped earlier on. 5:82, so another good jump here. She's had a 5:83, a 5:94, a 5:83, and now a 5:82. So her median and her average would be, pretty similar. must be said, for all you mathematicians out there. I know there's a lot of you watching. Shane Howard up next, though. One athlete in the men's. So he's already the winner. And we're all winners as we're getting to see this take place. And thanks to Athletics Ireland for putting on this micro meet. So Howard here. Remember that standard 8:05. That's standard in the long jump. So he jumped 7:12 in the second round, and he had a failure in that third round fault. Remember, 7:61, his best, 7:53 indoors. So well capable of transferring that performance here as he tears down this runway, getting up to that optimum speed, long striding athlete, and very close to the board on that one. It is a white flag, no surrender, from his a club mate, would you believe, Michael Quinlan there, the official abandoned AC man. It is a clean jump, and it is pretty decent. It is 7:12 again, which seems ridiculous, but it is 7:12 again, so he's equaled his best performance so far today from that second round. Almost echoing Sarah McCarthy's. Maybe the measuring machine only has a certain amount of options, and you can either get 5:82 or you can get 7:12. They're your options. No, good performance there from Shane Howard. 2 7:12 efforts in his series today, and of course Sarah McCarthy leading that with the 5:96, and that trio of 5:82, 5:83 jumps to her name. And Buggy is up next. Just let her get in the pit. Let her get a clean jump. Well, getting herself set here. The long jump, triple jump star. 13 national titles to her name. Just making absolutely sure with that mark. And aiming to get into that pit. But she has a good jump in her arsenal. She is very close to a big effort here. Just has to get that jump right on the board. Get that run up in. Buggy, the St. Albans AC athlete. Club has produced many top athletes over the last couple of years. Just keep an eye on that last couple of steps before the finish. And it looks like she's broke again. So another break for Sarah Buggy. That's 4. Are we even on 5 there now? It's hard to keep track. It is in fact her 5th break. So she's one more shot here, the St. Albans AC athlete. Very, very close. Getting closer all the time. But as I said, a lot of these athletes have not competed so far this year. And may not have competed a whole lot last year, so it is quite difficult for them to get this slight technical issues under wraps. But we know if she can get one right, I think it's going to be pretty big. And she only has one more shot. Here is Kate O'Connor, 5:76. Her best is a very similar series there. 5:76, 5:72, and 5:73 are her top 3 jumps. In rounds 2, 3, and 4, respectively. Still in the lead, of course, Sarah McCarthy. So this is round 5. So we have the women's 800 meters coming up there. After we'll have a very short break where I can look up some stats to amaze you all with. And we'll get that going. That's at 25 past 1. So we should be finished. We'll have about a 10-minute break where we show you some of our remaining interviews. Here's Kate O'Connor on the runway, the European junior silver medalist from Borås in Sweden. She's not boring us much today. She is performing very well, entertaining. I know that was a bit of a stretch, but we're tearing down the runway here now, and it is a clean jump from Kate O'Connor. but I wouldn't once again suspect it is longer than her previous best of 5:76. But a good series for her. Waiting on the scoreboard here. 5:69 from Kate O'Connor, so no improvement there in round 5, and the legs may be getting a little bit tired after the events of yesterday and the earlier rounds in this competition. So Sarah McCarthy up next. His 5th round jump. So McCarthy, the Mid-Sutton AC athlete. A heptathlete in her spare time as well, but has been kind of focusing on the sprints and long jump over the last couple of years. As I said, Mid-Sutton AC, based in the Sutton area there in North Dublin, down by Howth. So it didn't have too far to travel this morning. Into that sprinter stance and speeding down the runway is McCarthy. And a good clean jump once again from her, and can't tell from this angle how far that was for her, but I wouldn't think it's an improvement on that 5:92 from earlier, 5:94 from earlier from round 2. Looks to be 5:78 from her, so it's a 5:78. So her worst jump of the day so far. She had a very good series. I said 5:83, 5:94, 5:83, and 5:82. And here we have Howard on the runway, 2 7:12s to his name thus far, round 5. 6:76, 7:12, a fault, 7:12, and now onto his 5th round effort here, the Bandon AC man. As I said, he was training on bales of hay down below in North Cork there over lockdown 1, and a difficult time in terms of training, using homemade weights, etc. in the barn on the farm down in Rathcormac. Representing Bandon AC here. 7:61 at his best outdoors, 7:53 indoors. 2 7:12 jumps today. He is the season leader as an Irishman, moving ahead of Sam Healy, who jumped 7:02. Flying down this runway now is Howard, powering away, and that looks like a fault again from Howard. Just that last step just before the takeoff there, and he's just caught the plasticine. So unfortunate for Howard. Very close again. For him, he has one more jump, but well off the European indoor standard of 8:05. We may get one more shot at it. So into our 6th and final round for these athletes. Sarah Buggy of St. Albans AC will be up next. The 13-time national champion has 5 faults to her name today, and has one final shot at this long jump as John Travers is warming up, running around the stadium here after his 7:50 performance yesterday. In that 3,000 meters, he's back again in the 1,500 meters, where he'll take on Johnny Wan, who paced that 3K yesterday, and of course Luke McCann, who has the European indoor standard but is behind Brian Fay, Paul Robinson, and Andrew Coscarin. So he'll be trying to edge ahead of them. Coscarin, of course, one of the fastest Irish times in years, 5th in the all-time list indoors. The star of the sea AC man, coached by Phelim Kelly of the Dublin Track Club, as is Brian Fay in 3rd, and Paul Robinson is coached by Nick Badeau and trains at the Dublin Track Club. So 1,500 meters is very much their game at the moment. Buggy here on the runway, one final shot. There's a big jump in there if she can just get this right. Mentally it has to be difficult after 5 faults in a row, but she is a competitor. 13 national titles So she will go for this, there's no doubt about that. Knows she needs a big jump here. 5.96 to beat. And it is a clean jump. And it is a good jump. And a relief probably as much as anything for Buggy here that at least she got a jump in today and it wasn't a wasted trip for her. I doubt it's going to be longer than the 5.96 needed to beat Sarah McCarthy. It's 5.86, so a decent jump, but you can no doubt that after 6 jumps and 6 good jumps, or 5 good jumps in the previous rounds, that mentally it was difficult for her there to absolutely go for that one. With 5.86, so a decent jump from her, and she actually moves into second place ahead of Kate O'Connor, who's up next. 5.76, her best. So Sarah McCarthy will be happy that 5.94 is intact for now, unless Kate O'Connor pulls out a personal best here. Apologies, close to her personal best. 5.98, of course, from 2019 to go with her 6.10 outdoors from 2017. And here is O'Connor tearing down the runway, going for that one, and it is a white flag, so a clean jump from the heptathlete, national record holder. We'll find out now very shortly. Has she beaten that 5.96 or gone ahead of Buggy's 5.86? But it's 5.78 for Kate O'Connor. So a decent series there. 5.76, 5.72, 5.73 and 5.76. Her 4 biggest jumps of the day. So a decent performance there from the heptathlete. And here is your winner today. Your longest jump was 5.94 in round 2. McCarthy of Mid Sutton AC. Personal best though will be outside 6 meters, 6.33 outdoors and 6.12 indoors, and she'll be hoping to at least try and get herself into that 6 meter zone here with this 6th and final jump. 6 for 6. We'll be getting a bit tired after yesterday's 200 meter exertions as well. McCarthy steadying herself up onto her toes into that sprinter stance, tearing down the runway here, getting up to optimum speed, and going to throw the kitchen sink at this one, but it looks to be very, very similar. She may have produced a performance best today, but I would say it's probably in something similar to her 5.80s, 5.85 from Sarah McCarthy. So a really, really impressive series there. 5.83, 5.94, 5.83, 5.82. And you can see here she gets up to that top speed and a great takeoff and hitch kick in the air from Sarah McCarthy. So her worst jump of the day was that 5th round, 5.78. Other than that, it's been in the 5.80s or that 5.94 winning jump from round 2. So well done to those athletes, McCarthy, O'Connor and Buggy. And here is Howard. 7.12 to beat. He's jumped it twice today. Second round and 4th round, 2 faults and that 6.78 opener. So this is the 6th and final jump. He's the only man in the competition, so he can really throw the kitchen sink at this one and try and see what he can do here in the 6th and final round. He's flying down the runway, the very tall athlete. And that is another fault from Shane Howard of Banton AC. So it's unfortunate. It looks like a fairly big jump there as well from Howard. So he'll be annoyed with that one. But 7.12, 2 7.12s. Decent opening performance from Shane Howard for the season here. It's difficult in the circumstances for a lot of these technical events. So the winner of the men's, 7.12 for Shane Howard. Sarah McCarthy with 5.96 in the previous in the women's competition in round 2. So after this we'll have the women's 800, which takes place in about 18 minutes. So we'll be back probably about 5 minutes before that. And we're just going to show you a quick interview here with Charlene Maudsley, who got a European indoor standard earlier on, finishing 3rd in that race, where all 3 dipped under the European indoor standard. Phil Healy, Sophie Becker and Charlene Maudsley. So Charlene, a European qualifying standard today, you must be delighted.
Yeah, I'm absolutely thrilled. I can't believe I actually got the standard, so it's an absolute bonus to have had such a great race with the girls, and I'm just thrilled.
Yeah, I suppose talk us through the race itself. You got out quite strongly, and we're up on the shoulder of Sophie Becker there at the 200 metre mark.
Yeah, I knew I had to go out quick. I was in lane 4, so I had Sophie outside me. I knew it would be a charge for both of us to get to the break first, but we had a little shoulder here and there, but it's all good. We're both delighted that we got the standard, so it's amazing, yeah.
And in terms of restrictions, has it been difficult for you throughout the winter there to get the training in?
Yeah, it has a small bit. I'm based in the University of Limerick, so at the start I was able to have access to the gym and the track, but then with the new lockdown just after Christmas I had no access to any sort of gym. So thankfully I was able to come up to the Institute and train with Martina McCarthy, my S&C coach, so that was a real big help, but just travelling to Dublin once a week isn't really ideal, but it was better than nothing.
I suppose thoughts over the next couple of weeks and towards the summer.
Yeah, I'm so excited. I never had the plan of European indoors in my calendar for this season, but I'll take it 100%. And as Sophie was saying, like, I'm super excited to race outdoors. It's what I'm good at, what I'm most comfortable in. So I'll be looking to gather more points for the 400 for the Olympics, and also the relay qualification will be a huge bonus if we get that.
Brilliant. Thanks very much. Well done today.
Thanks so much, guys.
Cheers.
At Irish Life Health, we do health insurance, but not as you know it. Like our benefit plan, which gives you up to €250 back on a mix of benefits, like sports clubs, such as your local GAA club, dietitians, and fitness wearables. Helping you embrace a healthier lifestyle. Search Irish Life Health.
So we're back here after that intriguing long jump, and we have probably the race of the day, the women's 800 metres. It's going to be paced by Sinead Denny, who herself ran quite a good 800, but mainly known for her 400 metre exploits. And in this one we have Iseult O'Donnell, Georgie Hardigan, Katie Kirk, Louise Shanahan, Jenna Brommel and Claire Mooney. So we have a couple of extras on your screen there. I don't think I see Emma O'Donoghue down there. No, she is not there. So it is just the athletes I mentioned. 2:03.85 is the European indoor standard. And we have three athletes that have that: Nadia Power, Iseult O'Donnell and Louise Shanahan. Nadia Power not here today. That national record 2 flat by Nadia Power, very impressive. And of course then just behind her in those standings this year we have Iseult O'Donnell and Louise Shanahan. Iseult O'Donnell's ran 2:03.56 and Shanahan's ran 2:03.52. So both those athletes in very good shape. Katie Kirk 2:03.58 at her best, just slightly off that this season, and Georgie Hardigan then 2:04.44, the DSD athlete, there 1:14 centre of your shot. Jenna Brommel was ran at 2:06.26 indoors, but was ran significantly faster outdoors, and then Claire Mooney has also ran out under standard in the past, has ran at 2:03.56. So plenty of talent in this field. Shanahan and O'Donnell running the best this season, but we'll have to make sure that they run well today to hold off Katie Kirk, who's probably the most likely to run under that standard of 2:03.85, alongside perhaps Claire Mooney there in lane 1. Shanahan studying a PhD in Cambridge, measuring thermal conductivity in nitrogen and carbon crystal lattices. So, you know, fair play to her, whatever that means. But, you know, she'll be hoping to make sure this is a red-hot pace today. Sinead Denny setting that pace out there in lane 6 in the colours of DSD. And they're off there, and Denny is going to fight to get out strongly. Shanahan with that 4:18 1500 metre pace as well will be well capable, but it is Claire Mooney who's showing at the front at the moment. O'Donnell, the Raheny athlete representing Dublin Track Club today, is at the back of the field just in front of Katie Kirk, but it is Denny storming to the front, and just behind her Mooney, and then following it up Hardigan, the DSD athlete, the 2:04 athlete. We're going well, 27 seconds through that first 200 metres, so it is pretty quick, and you can see that Shanahan, Kirk and O'Donnell here are sitting off that pace, which is probably a little bit too fast for Mooney and Hartigan, and I think this is going to be a interesting last 3 laps here. Kirk taking closer order there in the orange shorts, moving up on the outside, but it is Denny, Mooney and Hardigan still flowing through this field, and it is excessively fast. Some might say 57.58 for these athletes, and Denny is about to step off the track, and Mooney and Hartigan here flowing away at the front of this field, and Hartigan looks like she's running very well, and she's going to go around Mooney, and the DSD athlete has about 5, 6, 7 metres on the rest of the field, but you expect that to close off that fast pace. I would expect that second group going through in about 60, 61 seconds. Shanahan now at the front of that, and O'Donnell clicking closer order, and it looks like Kirk has been moved around, and it is still Hartigan who looks like he's struggling somewhat, but still the 2:04 athlete, so well able to hold on to this. 1:29 at the bell, and Shanahan then is taking closer order and moving up around Mooney, but it's still Hartigan at the front of this field, and this field would want to close up on the DSD athlete, and O'Donnell and Shanahan Shanahan are doing just that, and Kirk looks run out of it, as does Mooney. Hartigan now with 100 metres left to run. She's got 3-4 metres on the fast finishing Louise Shanahan, and O'Donnell, last year's outdoor national champion, following her directly behind. But it is Hartigan still leading into the home straight. She really went for it there, and she looks she's going to hold on for the win in this one. And Shanahan is getting up, and she looks like Hartigan, 2:01.50, and just behind that, Shanahan in second place, and O'Donnell is going to be run out of those European indoor places. But what a run from Georgie Hartigan, 2:01.50. We thought she was going to low up. She's only ever ran 2:04.44 indoors. But what an impressive performance from her there. Really, off that red hot pace, you expected her to struggle over that last lap, but impressive. You can see here you're only expecting nothing other than a collapse here from Hartigan coming into the home straight, but she really held on well. Shanahan trying to get up on her shoulder, and you expect that's a personal best for Shanahan, and possibly even for O'Donnell as well. 2:01.50. Impressive stuff. And you'd have to say, off the early pace of 57 seconds, there might even be a little bit more in there for Georgie Hartigan. 2:01.50. Incredible performance from her. Shanahan in second place, and O'Donnell in third. So I would suspect O'Donnell just missing out on that European indoor performance. So, which is a pity for an athlete who has been progressing so well over the last couple of years, and winning the last year's outdoor national title. Shanahan, though, the Cambridge student, running smartly there and finishing second. Really expected Hartigan to collapse after that incredible fast pace over the first 2 laps, 27 seconds through the first 200 metres. And yet she held on. I think there's more to come from Hartigan. So we will get a full result on that for you. So great, another great performance here. You can tell these athletes, not many of them have raced, and yet here we are running European indoor standards to beat the band. And we're just going to show you a quick interview here with John Travers, who will be running the 1500 metres and ran a personal best of 7:50 yesterday in the 3000 metres. So, John, a pre-race interview rather than a post-race interview here. You did well yesterday in the 3,000 metres, a PB for you. How did it feel?
Yeah, no, it was great. I suppose was kind of coming into it in the unknown. I knew I was physically in shape, but you always know your kind of first race out, you're not sure what to expect. So, look, it was grand. We just decided we'd run it like a championship race. So I was just going to win it, and we knew if the lads were looking for the time, it would be under the time, and we weren't really sure what we'd actually run. So, to be honest, I was delighted to finish very strong over the last 400. I think we're under 56, so that was good all considering the pace it was at as well. It's a 5-second PB, so I can't go wrong with it. Yeah,
it's a serious pace from the start, and to have two athletes at 7:50 must be great, alongside Sean Tobin as well, who's around 7:48. So 3 athletes flying it at the moment.
Oh yeah, and like on top of that, there's 7 of us have the standard. So like I can't remember ever there been more than 2 or 3 having the 3K standard. So look, it's a great complaint for the likes of us that now hopefully tick the box. I kind of feel bad for the other 4 that any other year they probably would have been on the team without a doubt. Like, so look, it's tough in their sense, but no, it's nice to tick the box, and this will be hopefully my 5th straight European indoors now. So it's a man of experience now at this stage. So hopefully I'll do something big out here.
Exactly, and the 1500 today. I was chatting to you before, and you were saying that it's only really to spin the legs today.
Yeah,
with the lack of races.
Look, at the end of the day, it's a race as well, so I need to get used to racing again. We haven't had one in a long time, so look, we're going to I'll hopefully have the rounds and a final now when I go out to the Europeans. God forbid I get to tick the box. So look, it's just kind of mentally preparing myself for that and running on tired legs, because I haven't had to do that in a long time. So that's the main idea behind it.
And has training been difficult over the last 6 months in terms of the different restrictions and training groups?
No, I'm lucky.
Kind of
we've a forest literally 400 metres from our door. It's 4 miles around. Now it's tough running, so it's quite hilly and stuff like that. So look, it's been tough 6 months, but it hasn't. Like, training's been going better than ever, really, to be honest, because we're not able to do anything else. So, and we've been off work. We've been working online, so it's like not as much energy been wasted and stuff like that. So it's been very beneficial in one sense.
Excellent. We'll put pressure on you now. Prediction for today in the 1500 metres. Give us time.
Haven't a notion. We'll see what happens. I haven't ran a 15 in 2 years, so I don't know what to expect, to be honest. So
Fair enough.
See.
Best of luck, John. Well
Cheers.
done.
Thanks very much. Cheers.
So Shane, so we're back here in the stadium, National Indoor Stadium here for the micro meet. You've heard from John Travers, who will be on very shortly. And before we get to that, we'll just take you through those amazing results from that women's 800 meters. Remember, you also have Nadia Power, obviously running that national record of 2:98. And just behind her now on that list, we'll have Georgie Hardigan, who smashed her previous PB of 2:02.99, that outdoor PB, indoor PB of 2:04.44, and ran 2:01.48 for the win today, the DSD athlete. Louise Shanahan then, who had already ran the European indoor standard and ran 2:03.52 this season, 2:03.17 her outdoor personal best. She smashed that personal best and ran 2:01.67. And then Isolde O'Donnell, who ran her PB indoors and out this year, running that 2:03.56 in France a couple of weeks back. The 2020 indoor or outdoor champion, Isolde O'Donnell, running 2:02.29 for another massive PB. And Claire Mooney, 2:04.29, which is an indoor personal best. She has ran 2:03.56 outdoors, but ran an indoor personal best there of what you would describe as a difficult paced race for her, going out with that strong early pace. And then even Jenna Brownwell back there in 6th place, getting 2:05.63 personal best. Katie Kirk running 2:05.37. Just didn't seem to have it today in the same way that Hartigan and Shanahan and O'Donnell and Mooney did. Now on to the men's 1500. And you've heard from John Travers there, who is running in this one. And Travers ran 7:50 yesterday. 7:50 for an indoor and outdoor 3K personal best. So he is in good shape. You'd expect that is in his legs. Especially as he said, he didn't even cool down yesterday. He just got straight out of the stadium as it was 6 o'clock and he wanted to go home. So I'd suspect a little bit tired, but definitely buoyed by the 7:50 he ran yesterday. Kevin Woods is pacing it. He's already paced one national record this weekend. It's going to be difficult to pace another, but you'd never know. But he's certainly adequately pacing that race there yesterday and coming back to pace this one today. Johnny Wan paced that 7:50 by John Travers. He's in this one now today, running for himself. 3:46.22 he's ran outdoors. No indoor personal best for him. And then Luke McCann, 1:48.56 man outdoors over 800 metres and has ran 3:42.03 already this season. Indoors, and then has also ran 3:41.70 outdoors for his personal best. 3:42.73 is the standard. Luke McCann already has that standard. John Travers does not, but he has ran 3:37 outdoors and 3:41.33 outdoors, or indoors, but that is a couple of years ago. And he is also, as you know, a 3:55 miler and has ran 13:28. So he is the classiest athlete in the field, but McCann is in good form indoors with that 3:42.03. Brian Fay is the man in the third place standings. You've got Robinson and Coscoran just ahead of him. So McCann will have his eyes on that. Already has the standard and has one more shot to jump ahead of Brian Fay at 3:41.73. They ran that in the same race. Fay getting the win and McCann in second. Coscoran 3:37.20 and Robinson 3:39.36. So those athletes probably out of reach of McCann and Travers today. But then again, I said that yesterday, and then Travers and McElhenney ran 7:50. So I should probably just say less. That's probably good advice to me. But yes, it's going to be a cracking race here. McCann there in the yellow of UCD. Johnny Wan, after pacing that race yesterday, went all the way to 1,500 metres. In about 3:56. He's in the black and orange, black and amber of Clonliffe Harriers. And then you have John Travers in the white there. Not wearing the No Harriers vest today, I don't think, but still wearing the club colours. And then Kevin Woods, the pacemaker, there in the red of Crusaders. So big race here. And hopefully we'll see Travers and McCann run well. Travers already said that he will not run the 1,500 metres at the European Indoors if he does get the qualifying standard. But Woods straight out here from the gun, the pacemaker. So 3:41.73 is the time that McCann is chasing there in second place. So they are flying through that first 100 metres, 13 seconds or so. And we're looking for a pace in around 58, 59 seconds for these boys. So 29 or so. So it was a 28 going through there. So pretty much bang on for these gentlemen. And it is McCann, then Wan, and then Travers just behind that. So Travers, like the Duke of Pastoria, leading from behind. McCann already getting a little bit back of a gap there on Johnny Wan. Johnny Wan, 3:46 at his best. Is running well and a bit of a breakout season there last year, but probably unlikely to get close to that European indoor standard. Travers, once again, sitting at the back of the field. McCann sitting in there nicely as we came through there. Bang on pace. So Kevin Woods getting a bit of a name for himself here, doing a fantastic job of pacing these races so far. 5 laps to go for these gentlemen. So it is still Woods, just behind that McCann, and then Johnny Wan, and then Travers. So Johnny Wan has certainly taken closer order there and closed that little bit of a gap that was growing. And Travers very much in control there at the back of the field and happy to sit off the pace at the moment, having ran that 7:50 breakout personal best performance indoors and out for him there yesterday. And it's still McCann looking very relaxed there as they go through. And we're coming up towards the 800 metre mark there now. which will give us a very good picture of where these athletes are at. Woods just taking a look over his shoulder and moving out into lane 2. It's a long way for McCann to go here as he goes through in 1:58. So bang on the money for McCann here as he already makes a little of a gap to Johnny Wan. And Travers will try and go around Johnny Wan here and make sure he stays in contention with. You can see the grimace on Travers' face. He's going, oh, for God's sake, I ran 7:50 yesterday. What am I doing here? And he goes into second place and moves up. And he's about 2 meters off the long striding McCann, who is now in the lead. And Johnny Wan has lost touch with this group. And we've pretty much equidistant between all the athletes here at the moment. And McCann is running smoothly and running well at the front. Travers trying to chase him down and just looking to make this into a race and try and get the win over the young Luke McCann of UCD, who come through here now. And we've got 2 to go for these athletes. We'll get a clearer picture here as we come round. That was the K they went through there. So these boys are running incredibly well here as they motor through the field. 1100 minutes they went through there. And Travers not making any ground. And Johnny Wan has been as a drift of the rest of the field. But McCann going really well here as you come into the home straight. Remember 3:41.73 to beat. So he's come through in 3:11. So if he comes back in 30 seconds or so, he should be in the mix for this one. And he is striding down the back straight. He's at top end here. He's absolutely on the rivet here on the back straight, as all he needs to do is run 30 seconds or so to get in on that 3:41.73 of Brian Fay. And Travers is not going to come. He's going to come back at him, but he's way too far off him now. Come into the home straight, and McCann is striding up the home straight. He's trying gamely to get over the line here, and he's going to have ran 3:40.06, and that is a massive performance. And he books his ticket to Turin in Poland, and what a run that was. 3:40.06, cracking performance from Luke McCann, and he is now the 3rd fastest Irishman behind Andrew Coscoran and Paul Robinson this year. Travers a good bit off the pace. We're going to see a quick replay of that last lap, and he had a lot left to do here. It was a 29-second last lap, but he really got on the pace there, and it looked like he was going to struggle coming into the home straight here and lose that time over the last 50 metres. So, but he dug in there. You can see the last 50 metres and got himself over the line. 3:40.06, cracking run from Luke McCann, and Travers then in second place. And McCann is absolutely delighted with that. And Kevin Woods has had a good weekend. He's breaking restrictions there, but look, he's had a good weekend. He's had a cracking weekend there. A great job done. 2 paced races, 2 pace-making opportunities for Kevin Woods, and 2 races that he paced to perfection, getting the 800 metres national record yesterday over the line for Mark English, and of course for Cian McPhillips. And now Luke McCann also qualified for the European Indoors. So we'll try at some point to get, I think Georgie Hartigan may have disappeared on us, but we may be able to get hold of somebody for a moment.